information that they can't do anything about it?
Meaning what?
If we tell you that, okay, it's an insulin receptor and it's closed, you can't go buy one at your local grocery. You have to go to a biochemistry practitioner, or I don't really know if any conventional medicine can open an insulin receptor. So even though we put that in the program for you, I feel bad about it because it's going to force you to go to a practitioner. And what we want to do with people is to give them information on how to do this on their own without going to a practitioner. Like the music we were playing, cinnamon present. We have found herbs that will do so many things and open an insulin receptor. Cinnamon's one of them. So I wish I knew more about herbs, or maybe we could have somebody on that does herbs that could help us with more of this.
Do you mean tonight?
I can barely hear you. Say it again.
I was asking if you were looking for somebody to help tonight or overall in the program.
Yes, if somebody would volunteer to be my guinea pig, that would be wonderful. Dee said she wanted to learn what was going on, so I was asking her if she would be a guinea pig for it. So I don't think she's listening, but that's okay. I've had a weight problem since my last baby, and he's 40-something now. So I could always use myself. Dee says she will. That will be great. Anybody else want to volunteer for tonight? We'll be doing 2 different kinds of weight loss or weight management issues. So if somebody else wants to jump in, I've put up a text support if anybody's having any trouble with their microphone or dropping out. Several times people say all of a sudden that their audio will disappear. So go up to your top menu bar, look at audio, go out of the conference, and then come back in. And all that's doing is taking you out of audio and bringing you back in. The tech support number is up there if you need it. Okay, Laura? Lorianne? Okay, Lauren? You can be number 2. All right. Lots of new information, things I was just digging up and seeing what was going on. This is part of our giveaway program. Giveaway, 3 words. Giveaway to provide you an avenue to have information, to give you a way to earn money, to give you a way to help other people, to give you a way to combat what is going on with Obamacare and the rationing that is going on. Right now they're beginning to, well, they already have begun to ration insulin. And sometimes insulin can make you gain weight, but it's also life-saving. And if they're going to say you can't have insulin because you're over 62 or 64, whatever it is, then we found a way to deal with this botanically, like the NAVA, or with herbs. So because technology has gotten so big and government has gotten so large in how it wants to control who gets what resources, then I think we are going to go back to the beginning and start using herbs again and start using frequency again and looking at all of this. I don't want to fight with the authorities. Liz, if you want to volunteer, if we need a 3rd person, you could call us on the phone if you have a landline Okay, so we want to do this with the least amount of trouble possible just by creating a group of people that will be ready in case it's needed. A good strategist always has an alternative plan in mind. So there's people out there fighting, and we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and we're going to make the government do this. You know, somebody has a mic on. Let me look. Okay, I turned it off. Kevin, I'm going to pass you a mic. And did you have a question? You've got your hand raised. You unraised your hand. Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to volunteer if necessary. If you needed someone.
Okay, we'll put you on the list. We'll see how
Okay.
you go. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Jenny, I'm going to pass you a mic. You've got your hand up. So, Jenny, you want to open your mic and talk to me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, Jenny.
Hi.
We're getting some feedback. Did you have a question?
Let me open the laptop. Maybe I can hear better. Can you hear better now?
There's feedback from your speaker, Jenny. It's a very bad connection. Did you have a question?
No, I just wanted to volunteer.
Okay, I'm going to shut your mic because it's a lot of feedback.
Okay.
Maybe the call is on the phone. Karen, you still have your hand up. Did you want to volunteer?
I don't think I'm going to be able to tonight.
Okay, well, I can't
realize that my hand was up.
Okay, just want to make sure. All right, we have plenty of volunteers. This is great. And to explain what we're doing, it's about a giveaway, and to give away the software so that you can start a bioacoustic center in your community. And we'll be giving away 7 different softwares, so we'll have a repertoire. And we chose these 7 softwares because they're relatively easy compared to the professional software, and they answer a question or issue or problem that we're facing. So one of them is pre-vaccination risk factors, about the vaccination mask. One of them is about PTSD, self-signaling, wounded warriors, nutrition, muscles, allergies. So we want to provide this new model using bioacoustics, because after you get caught on to what is going on, then they're very easy to do and they're very simple. So we're doing BioDiet giveaway, and it's August 4th, 2012, and we hope by the end of the year we'll have bioacoustic centers all over the country. You know, the same thing here about the color combination of the yellow and the orange. Those are 2 of the most important notes for hunger and satiation. And look at things like Burger King and McDonald's and how they begin to use these color combinations with you. So we're here because we have created software in support of self-health, self-responsibility, health freedom, and we're here to share it because we believe that bioacoustics biology is the beginning of the new paradigm. And we've been working on this for years. We've been trying to go very slow so that the FDA or AMA or whoever's in charge out there doesn't come in and say, you can't do this anymore. So we're trying this 100 monkey approach. It's marketing from the bottom up. So we go out and sort of quietly tell people what we're doing and share it with them so that if something happens to us as the fountain of information, they can still go on with it. I'm Sherry Edwards, your host for this evening, and this is the Institute of Bioacoustic Biology and Sound Health. We occupy all 3 floors of this is one half of an old school building. We have about 9,000 square feet. And if you get close, come and visit. I'm coming to you from the classroom. The studio, which is way too hot today to try to get any of the equipment, and the air conditioner is down on the 3rd floor. And the landlord doesn't work on the weekend. So I'm in the classroom in the left back corner of this building, if you want to imagine that. So what we do here at the Educational Research Center is we stick a microphone in somebody's face and we take a 30-second sample of the frequencies of their voice and see what the computer says about them. No, Dee, just hold on a minute. Colleen's having a hard time hearing. Can somebody who is computer savvy help Colleen with her volume? Okay, and I'll try to move closer to the microphone. So we do this all by vocal profiling. We'll be doing some live people tonight, and this particular class will be repeated this entire week. If you want to watch it again and again, it will be on the front of our website. Congratulations on those of you who got the flyer and it didn't have a time on it, and you showed up anyway. That's wonderful. Oh, I see we've got a lot of new people tonight. That is great. So we're going to play with the software. We've got a schedule that we want to do. Mainly here at the Institute, we try to ask and answer the question, is frequency our new medicine or an ancient mystery revealed? We think it's both. You can read in one of Sylvia Fonk's books about Tree of Life and the Holy Grail, about how this is very ancient information. A lot of material by Jill Matson. She just wrote a book called Secret Sounds about how sounds heal, how music heals, how voice heals, how frequency is everything in shape. We're going to have Susan Hale on our radio show in the coming weeks, and she talks about the shape of things and how it puts out frequencies. So we want to ask that question and combine the old with the new, bring in the Templars as well as computers. The ancient Templars, which was a sect of the Catholic Church that were charged with keeping everybody healthy and well, whether it was while they were traveling or if they got the flu. So you've probably seen that in some of the Dan Brown movies and books, The Symbol, and I can't remember the other name. Our attorney makes us put this in here, that we are not here to heal people or to diagnose or prescribe for them. We are simply looking at the body as an energy system, and we want to see the energy as points of frequency. And if you don't have all of your energy, if you've got your 220 stove plugged into a 110 outlet, it's not going to work very well. There's also many, many different ways to look at this. Certainly enough sick people to go around. And I tell people that I am looking for data, and if they get well, that's their problem. So our schedule today, we're going to be looking at the BioDiet software program. Very simple and easy to use. Just punch some buttons and out comes the information. Now the interpretation gets a little tricky, so that's what we're going to try to concentrate on this evening. Audacity, you can download. We give you the address. That's not our program. It's a very good program that we use. You can download that from SourceForge, audacity.sourceforge.net. Abacus, we have waiting for you, along with a textbook, along with registration, along with articles, and it's waiting for you at soundhealthoptions.com/biodiet.html. And you'll see that in the next few slides also as we go along. So we're looking at weight management, whether the weight management is can't gain weight or there's too much weight. We're taking before class, most of the time when people can't gain weight, they have too much carnitine and they aren't using their fatty acids well. They just aren't using carnitine, which is an amino acid. We're going to be conducting some client sessions. We've got some volunteers, so we hope to get that and then to show you how you can bundle this and use it right on your computer to send to the report. So when we started looking at BioDiet more than anything else, we were looking at a book that said these are the 3 or 4 things that control weight, and it all boils down to this: serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine, and the use of carbohydrates in the body. Now, the use of carbohydrates is controlled by the note of C, and it's diastase, and sometimes people will see that as amylase. So we'll be looking at enzymes and neurotransmitters, epinephrine and norepinephrine. Waiting on you at that address is also a textbook, and this will tell you step by step of everything you're going to see this evening. So no use scrambling with notes and trying to write all of this down, because it's all in this little textbook. While you're there, you could also download our journal, the Journal of Bioacoustic Biology. It has a lot of articles and profiles and information about who and what we are and how it got started, what it really means. A lot of cutesy things like the royal couple, as well as very serious things like Jerry Sandusky. And we predicted last November that they would find him guilty, at least based on his vocal print. They would find him guilty. That reminds me, tomorrow I am going to be doing on my radio show Mitt Romney and Barack Obama's vocal prints. And I did part of that work today, and I think you'll be astounded at some of the results. So we'll give you an address to join us for that radio show also. So the things that we're going to do: download that Audacity at sourceforge.net, and then you'll get Abacus, which is a point pulling program which gives you, I've got the hiccup, gives you frequencies that you should look at. Hold on a second, I've got to take a drink. Okay, and you can download Abacus and BioDiet both from soundhealthoptions.com, and I've covered up the .com, I guess. There, move that down a little. /biodiet.html, and you can register those online. I'm going to be repeating that because people download and they call us and say, where can I register this? Right online. And if you're new with us, let us know. We may have to do it manually, because the first time we download something for you, it gets a little tricky on your desktop. So if you're going to be following along, if you are the people that accepted early and we sent you all the software early, that's when you get your invitation. If you come in early and say, yes, I want to be there. Sounds muffled like I'm underwater. Well, I don't know what to do about that. You know, I could turn off the air conditioner. Let me give that a run. Sometimes that there are a few. Shemaiah, did that help? Did it clear up the muffling any? Thank you, Moonstone, for putting all that in there. Closer. Boy, I'm practically eating the microphone. Okay, I'll put it a little closer. Is this any better? Okay, I'll just stay real close to the mic, and if it gets too hot in here, it's only like 90 outside. I'll get out and turn it on again. So for those of you who got everything early and you're ready to go, then make your client folder, your waves folder, and your GNS folder on your desktop so that as you gather your data, you can share it with us and just keep everything in order. No change in the air. Turn it on your voice. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go back and turn it on again. Actually, I like it off because I don't like the sound of it. I just like the cool of it. So as much as I can stand it, I'm going to leave it off. But thank you for your concern. Okay, purchase and install your microphone. We'll be giving you that information in just a few minutes. Okay, so let's recap. You're going to go to soundhealthoptions.com/biodiet.html, and Nina put that in the chat for you. You're going to download BioDiet software, the Abacus software, the Biochemistry Basics manual, and the articles and charts that are there. While you're there, you're going to register your programs online. Now, after you learn to do this, you can contact your local radio station, those of them that have some kind of health show, and we will appear on the show with you, name you as the local person, and so you can get up and running really quick. Also, BioDiet is good to have at a health food store. You can go in and arrange with the owner, say, I can help you help people sell or buy vitamins more intelligently in what they really need. Your local support groups, Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, Top, Take Off Pounds Sensibly, I don't know if those are still around. Local clinics and weight loss groups, they like to have this extra support. And also exercise facilities. Go in and volunteer to do some work with the people who run it, or maybe just the people there, and tell them you're opening a center and you need some guinea pigs. Okay, so we're ready to go. These are some of the publications that we have been in. One of the things that people are going to ask you is, well, how do you know this works? Well, AT&T just put out an article that said bioacoustics is the medicine of the future. They are not reading voice, they are reading bones and body parts to see if your bones have integrity or what your liver is saying. Well, we do it through voice. They're trying to do it through body parts, through the eye, through your finger. So we are the pioneers here, and you'll see that here in a minute. We've been in 30 publications, 12 documentaries. And here's a video that you can download, make lots of copies, get them around to your friends. If you sell them, we expect a percentage. We have to pay to have this made. We want everybody to have it, particularly the part miracles of non-medicine, which is the doctors that we've been working with. Sorry, I had to turn the mic off a minute. I didn't want my cough to be on the recording. So miracles of non-medicine, there's lots of doctors and case studies there. The other part of it is me 50 pounds heavier. But you can certainly go download it, and if you need the labels, let us know. We'll get them to you. You can make everything look pretty. This is the Duke Encyclopedia of New Medicine, and it says on page 566, History? Bioacoustics as a therapeutic approach was developed by American Sherry Edwards in 1992 after she realized she had unusual hearing. So when you see people out there claiming this, my first papers were published in 1982, which meant I'm also working on that beforehand. A lot of people out there claiming this, and a lot of people getting in trouble right now. People in other countries are trying to sell this back to their own government, and they're getting in trouble. So it came from here. This is a video that's available for you, and it shows you an appointment, what happens in an appointment from beginning to end, and how we make the reports. So if you've got people who say, well, I don't know what that is, you can download it. It's only 3 minutes long, a little over 3 minutes. And you can show them what it's like. It's a great marketing piece. So as we give you information, we try to provide marketing information at the same time to help you start the business. We took this to the National Institute of Health. At first we took it to Senator Pell, a program at the National Institute of Health about alternative medicine. And I was very concerned because some representatives from Japan came here and wanted to buy the rights to this lock, stock, and barrel. Now that would mean that our health was in the hands of the Japanese government. And that scared me. That is, they can withhold any of this insulin when it becomes scarce or open a GABA receptor. That was in the hands of the native government. They would soon control the world. Because anybody who controls your health is going to be controlling the world. It's like ransom. Only thing I can think about at this point. So they didn't have a place to put us, although we showed them how to get rid of gout and Parkinson's and how to even look at Parkinson's years ahead of time. And the university just put out articles about that, and they're doing it for 10 years. And they're claiming, oh, they discovered something. Been around. I have to look for the articles that we published. So we're sort of complementary because we can be used in conjunction with other things, but we're really different from anything else. It's because we have the case studies, the lab tests, we have proof that what we're saying really is happening. So let's jump to our topic of, somebody has their mic open. I'm going to find that. Okay. We're looking at America. 66.7% of our population is overweight. But they also say that I'm overweight if I'm going to weigh 136 pounds. I look absolutely sick and gaunt at 136 pounds because I was a weightlifter when I was young, and I still have those muscles underneath some of this flab here that I've got. And look at, this is pronounced Gilbert because I looked it up. It looks like Kiribati, just a group of islands to the northeast of Australia. But I think that's incredible that 80% of their population is overweight and 93% in American Samoa. I think it's terrible in the U.S. One of the things that we found very recently, and I can't find my notes on it, is we found a relationship between vaccinations and overweight. So yes, our population is overweight. We eat a lot of boxed food. We eat a lot of empty calories, and our body just doesn't know how to handle that because we jumped from garden food to boxed food just in one small decade or so. This I thought was fascinating. This is from Canada. Timothy, it works on Mac also. You have to go to nanovoice.org and it gives you instructions on how to work with Mac. And if we had the money, we would build them so that they'd work on Mac. But this father lost custody of back to his past. This father lost custody. So I have a copy of the AT&T article. Go to the internet and put in AT and that little ampersand T, AT&T, and put in the word bioacoustics, and you'll find they're talking about liver and bone conduction and steering wheels in some of it. Moonstone, that's an incredible statement that this could be radiation. Yes, it could. Radiation attacks the thyroid first, and that controls energy path. Boy, what a great research project that would be to see if, wow, I'm going to write that down, that's too important. Weight and radiation. I will go check our charts. But to look at, back to this article of how the government's getting involved in whether or not we're too fat. 30 years ago, 20 years ago, you ever hear of any kids being taken away from them because they were too fat? I just think that's incredible. The government is encroaching on an area that is very private. We also have a frequency now that can control appetite. So if you get even emotionally hungry, you can put on the sound and it will quell it. So another reason to become a professional and have access to those frequencies. As soon as we try them out, we give them to the practitioners. A lot of practitioners are on our board of research people that help try some of these out too. But I just thought that was absolutely incredible. Here's the whole article about how they can take this to kids. 5 and 6-year-old kids were taken from the home. She has mental issues, may be overdosed and hospitalized. The man tried to get custody of his children. The decision Wednesday family court ruled they must be adopted. Because he's too fat, they're going to adopt the children out, not even give him a chance. Now, he weighed 360 pounds. He did weigh 525. He's lost, 200 pounds? And they won't wait till he can lose the rest. It is not a good idea to lose weight incredibly fast, but if they won't put them in foster care, they're going to adopt them out. I think that's crazy, unfair. But who am I? Just one little person who believes in love's justice. So from what we have found here and what we've looked at on the internet and other research people, allergies seems to be an incredible cause. We're finding wheat and milk are extreme causes of allergies because they cause inflammation at a cellular level. I'm using the word overeating. So allergies and inflammation go together, and we do have an allergies program coming up that's also free for people. Overeating. All I had was beans. Well, if you have 6 cups of beans, that's a lot of calories. Strong food combination. There is a place in Switzerland that I read about that they brought people in and gave them 6,000 calories a day. That's double what you should have. Even for a big person. And they combined the food in the right way, and the people lost weight. They didn't put fruits and meat together. They didn't put milk and something else together. There are thousands, millions of articles on the internet about some of this. Lack of digestive enzymes. Protease to digest your proteins. Now, those of you who are craving pop and soda, a lot of the times it's to help digest the meat. So take note, if you're craving meat and then craving pop, that helps digest that in the stomach. Amylase. Nature's Sunshine has some good food-based enzymes. There's a lot of companies that have good enzymes. Serotonin, which actually makes enzymes for therapeutic purposes, and they're out of Wisconsin. And she's Lita, L-I-T-A, LitaLee.com, has written a book about these digestive enzymes and how they're to be used. Unbalanced neurotransmitters, I want to talk about that and what happens with it. Metabolic disorders like the X syndrome and thyroid trouble and hormones out of whack. Sedentary lifestyle, get up in the morning, ride your bike, get your metabolism going, even if it's only for 3 minutes. Just get stuff going. That'll help keep your energy up all day. Sometimes sleeping too much also causes weight gain. And vaccinations. I'm thinking very strongly that these vaccinations interfere with the ability of the body to use leptin and put the body into adrenal stress. So you look at these little kids, they get their vaccinations, and 2 years later, they really are roly-poly. They're just as wide as they are tall. And I think vaccinations are to blame. I am going to write an article about that. Cortisol. The cortisol is the note of F sharp in type 2 diabetes. BCG vaccination precedes significant drop in type 2 diabetes in Japanese children. A link between soda pop and obesity. Probably because of the sodium gets unbalanced with the potassium. Also, if it's diet soda, you're looking at aspartame, and aspartame can cause significant issues with cell signaling. Look at this. Unlike water, soda serves up a whopping 17 teaspoons of sugar in every 20-ounce serving. So just extra calories there. Neurotransmitters. This is where we started all of this. Looking at the neurotransmitters of what was really going on, and we're going to go through a whole article about this. Let me pull that up. That of the 3 things to remember more than anything else, these 3 neurotransmitters are probably responsible for more dietary frustration and pain than anything else. So dopamine, and that's a D sharp. It's to just make you feel good stuff. You are depressed and you go eat something to make yourself feel better. Norepinephrine. It's from dopamine and it's an E. And you're going to see how leptin fits into this also and how they all sort of move together. Norepinephrine produced by the adrenal gland. So back to leptin again, which is controlled by adrenals. Serotonin. This is the wake-up chemical, and it controls anger and aggression, temperament, sleep, and appetite. Particularly people who smoke marijuana get serotonin upset, serotonin levels. We're going to see more about that. These are some of the different body types. Pituitary, in the beginning here, large thighs, belly, thyroid, hips, belly, adrenal, mostly belly. And gonadal, they look like 2 different people. The person on the top is small and the person on the bottom has big legs. They just don't look like they fit together. Usually they have a tiny waist. but the rest of them is large. So let's go look at some of that. Here's some information about serotonin and what it does. You crave sweets when serotonin is an issue. When adrenaline is an issue, you'll crave sweet and salt together. Eat without being hungry. If you play dopamine, the actual frequency of dopamine is better, but you could use the note of D sharp to sort of stimulate and get your body moving toward producing dopamine. But there's 1,000 other things at the D sharp. There's ranges of notes. Like 440 is the note of A, but so is 436 and so is 447. And so there's ranges of notes. And if you get right on the particular frequency of dopamine, yes, that will stimulate it. I don't know what about Asian people are skinny. Maybe they don't get enough to eat. Maybe it's only rice. So this is just some information about serotonin, and we will post this for you so you can download all of it. It's too much information to be written down. So dopamine people like carbohydrates, bread, French fries. They eat for the sensation of it. Now that's really weird, since people who get Parkinson's lose their dopamine and their sense of smell, and then they can't enjoy flavors because you can't smell. You can only, bitter, sweet, salt, and sugar. Bitter, sweet, or sweet with sugar. But there's 4 places in the tongue that you can taste, and besides that, midsection fat, and the limbs are skinny, then it's a cortisol issue usually. And one of the things that'll help with that white fat that lays down in the gut is fucoxanthin, Fucoxanthin, fucoxanthin. Brown fat's good, the white fat's bad. Copper is the cofactor. Dopamine makes norepinephrine. Magnesium is a tremendous cofactor for it. All of this is really important when you begin to try to decide which body they are. This little 10-page thing gives you lots and lots of information. Carbs and amylase is the enzyme that helps with it. Diastase is what your body kind of makes naturally. Amylase is made, I think, through the parathyroid. This is why they want you to chew your food well, to get all the enzymes produced and mixed with the food. So with this little set of information, does this lecture material information come with the BioDiet program? It's inside the program. There is a booklet for the professionals that has some of this in it. So you new people, when you hear me just going out on a limb here and it's a question somebody is asked in the chat. But most all of this is online anyway. We just gathered it and typed it up. Okay, this is the pituitary look of a person. They got kind of a flat butt, bigger legs. They're kind of thick. So it just means their pituitary isn't providing what it should. Childlike, underdeveloped, baby fat all over, small breasts, and an angelic expression. And here's a guide of the pituitary. Now, more women worry about their weight, or at least that's the way it seems, but there's a lot of guys who are not breathing well. Especially when you're fat in the stomach, you can't breathe well, you can't bend over to tie your shoes, your joints don't work well. So all this information will be made available for you on your download. There's a lot more pictures than this with it also. I didn't bring the pictures over to look. Okay, thyroid type. Small upper body, big stomach, and flat butt. There's quizzes that you can take online and then look about this. And what type are you? There's a thyroid dye. See the thick middle part, thick side. Pregnenolone is talking about here. That is the master hormone. I try to tell you it's DHEA because they got a patent on it and they can charge you $50 for a bottle. But pregnenolone is very inexpensive. It was put on the market by the guy that discovered it. And he said it's too important to give to a drug company, and he wasn't going to patent it, so he put it on the market. Just big all over. Adrenal type. These people look sturdy, like rocks. Now, if you're big all over like that and squishy like the Pillsbury Doughboy, then that usually is an issue with diastase and allergies, usually wheat allergies, but you aren't producing the carbohydrate enzyme that you need. Amylase, diastase. We've looked up things like things that will help support for each one of these, and I just didn't want to stop and prolong all of this when you could just grab it off the internet. This is gonadal and adrenal put together because they go together and it comes with stress. Where the top part of them looks perfectly fine, but the bottom part of them with this big rounded out bottom. I'll go a little slower when we get to the snack part of it. And there is a weight loss questionnaire in here of body type that you can choose. I'm glad to share that with you. Another one is celiac disease and Crohn's disease that causes weight loss as well as weight gain. And it gets really bad. You will lose a lot of weight in the beginning. You will gain a lot of weight in your gut. MSG, monosodium glutamate, and obesity. It takes the glutamate. It helps the body use the minerals that you need to make insulin, like magnesium and sulfur. So if you're going to use MSG, take B vitamins with it, and it'll help you not to have such a reaction. MSG has also been shown to increase appetite. There are millions of books written. I just pulled some different kinds off this. Cookbooks are the highest selling group a book and exercise and diet but eating for your lifestyle, eating for your metabolic type, I think is a good one. I can't think of the guy's name who has the book out on the X syndrome. But he talks about the glands too. There just isn't one size fits all. So this is a book that I found very interesting. It talks about the 5, and there's some subcategories, 5 different kinds of obesity, and the point where they say you're obese or not obese. They say waist size, but that's not fair to people who have kind of a Humpty Dumpty body, because they have little arms and legs and a big middle. And most of that's cortisol. Yes, eating right for your blood type. That's what I couldn't think of. Thank you, Judy. And sometimes it's much more than just calories and weight loss. Kirstie Alley has gone up and down and up and down with her weight. In her case, it's carnitine. Her body can't use carnitine. And wait, didn't mean to do that. One of the things that's waiting for you is called a pastel folder, and it has in it is a nutrient assimilation chart. And so you can go in and look at carnitine, and it says enhances the antioxidant effects of vitamin A and C, sufficient amounts of iron, B1, vitamin B6, lysine, and methionine are needed to create. And one of the things that wheat allergies just knock out is your ability to use methionine. If you're gaining weight and losing hair, lysine is probably the issue. If your hands and wrists are getting stiff, it's probably the B6 that's the issue. So looking at these charts, and this is all inside your nutrition program that some of you got a couple of weeks ago. So in her case, it was the inability to use carnitine, and it was also mixed with a problem with being allergic to wheat. So we were asked to do Gandolfini. They just wanted his weight under control, but he really has a serious heart and circulation problem. I think both of these full reports, and they're 5 or 6 page reports, I think both of them are on our site, and if they are not, somebody send me an email and remind me that they're not on the site, and I will get them up. Okay, this is from Dr. Oz. Everybody jumps on the bandwagon, and Dr. Oz is going to give us 5 types and what to do about it. So the big belly person with the skinny arms and legs, it says that you need a protein and carbohydrate breakfast. Cheese is good because it keeps your sugar level longer. Trunkle, that was a new word for me. Trunkle, belly fat. The people look pregnant, the women. Well, the men too, I guess. But they're not fat any place but the stomach. So he's saying balance your carbohydrates and your protein. And you need what he calls more muffas, good fats, coconut, fish oil fat. Sometimes that helps you, well, most of the time, that helps you use your carnitine. But cortisol is a biggie too. Cortisol is F-sharp. Big 5. They want you to have a protein liquid lunch. Now somebody's on a kick, oh, everybody has to take protein drinks. Well, some people can't tolerate protein drinks. Particularly people with big bellies can't tolerate protein drinks because their kidneys are stressed, because their insulin is stressed from all of this white fat in the gut that the body is keeping because your body is telling you that you need this because you may be starving at some other time. A lot of people with Indian background keep a lot of white fat. Their body just doesn't know enough that there isn't going to be a winter of starvation. Being on the top, chest, arms, and back. That's a carnitine one. They suggest that you eat lots of Tex-Mex food. And this was just in an article. I just took it right off the internet. 5 fat busters. I felt guilty. I was giving you guys all the bad stuff. So I thought I would just jump in and give you some solutions. So it's just 5 fat busters by Dr. Oz. If you want to go look this up. See it all over. And now this is a new one to me. Raspberry ketone supplement. And that it contains adiponectin, which helps keep leptin under control and helps boost your metabolic rate. This is one of the things that happens when your insulin is too high, or when you can sometimes get a problem with it when your pH is just really off. So, raspberry ketone supplement. I'm certainly going to try it. Dr. Oz says this is a thing. Big butt. He recommends clover-leaf tea because you've got an estrogen problem. Go back to that progesterone, and that will help sort out the estrogen problem. Sometimes when you cook things in plastic food, plastic containers, it produces a type of estrogen that your body just can't deal with. This one, I ordered some of this today, also from Dr. Oz. He says it is a compound found inside these beans, and it's an acid, and I'm pretty sure it's an F sharp. I looked it up. It's similar to cinnamon. And where did I write it down? So that was the well, I've got it on another side anyway. Like something like cholinergic acid, and it's in a lot of herbs, and it just helps keep off the water. There's a whole article about it, very nice article. Green coffee bean extract. When you look at this, we know the body is given the right circumstances that have the ability to cure itself. But, you know, we've got all this electricity bombarding us all the time, and boxed food and bad air and radiation and on and on and on and on. And I certainly am going to follow up Moon's thing about radiation making people fat, or that would certainly bring people to us in a hurry. The green coffee bean, it says in this article by Dr. Oz that it keeps the water off. The vitamin C helps keep water off. Potassium helps keep water off. Potassium and magnesium together helps keep water off. And one of the things they say, you got too much sodium, you just can't have sodium anymore, and that's what's causing all the really. Well, you're not thinking about sodium needs magnesium and other things to work. You just need to balance that stuff out instead of just taking away the salt, so you really need the salt to win your thyroid. So let's recap here what we're done and what we're doing. So you're going to download the audacity.sourceforge.net. We're going to use that in a minute. We're going to download BioDiet and Abacus from soundhealthoptions.com. And if this is the first time with us, you may need to call the office to manually do this. Just call or write to register at localprofiling.com. create those 3 new files, GNS, waves, and client. And then let's talk about your microphone just a little bit. In order to use the BioDiet program, we have to take a voice sample. Then we use the frequencies found in the sample to dump that list of frequencies into the BioDiet that then creates lists that correlate with those frequencies. So we're going to use this in a couple of different ways. Oh, this is a commercial coming up. For people who are people in this free class, you're going to get this software for 30 days. If you join the Guardians of the People, you'll get your Abacus for a year, you'll get this program for a year, and we're going to provide you nutrition for a year, because this seems to go hand in hand with BioDiet. So we would like as many people as possible in this group of Guardians of the People. We see those people as the ones that are going to take charge when the system breaks down, or at least is there to pick up the pieces as it's going down. So we'd like you to go to our home site, soundhealthoptions.com, and look into joining the Guardians of the People. It's a monthly program and has a form and a blog with it, and you get software every month and materials. So we want to provide you an incentive of giving this nutritional consultant and this BioDiet. They both come with the Guardian. You can go back and pick up other programs with the Guardian too. We've given away about 30 programs through there. So your microphone. In order to look at any of this, you'll need a microphone. And you may have a great and wonderful microphone, and that's okay. But these have been calibrated to our specifications in our computer program. It just makes the stuff more accurate. Regular, expensive vocal mics are filtered, and these are just little cheaper mics, and they don't have any filters on them, and that's what makes them good. Now the black one, the Dynax, is rubberized, and so that's good to have with kids. So from our computer using Audacity, audacity.sourceforge.net, we're going to begin to use these microphones to take a vocal sample. You can probably use any old mic to take a sample with Nano Voice, because Nano Voice has no man's land to it. These white lines is 6% of the note is missing, so nobody can mistake, most of the microphones really calibrated off, can mistake one note for another. So the major notes that we want to look at are B sharp, dopamine, E, norepinephrine, F, serotonin, and D, adiponectin, which helps control leptin. There's a couple more. The leptin as a genome is controlled by norepinephrine, and then it falls into the protein as it begins to fall over and work with serotonin. So norepinephrine is made from dopamine. Norepinephrine helps control leptin as a gene and leptin as a protein. So that E and F is a really important area there. Cortisol, the big belly is F sharp, and here's that word I couldn't find. What's from the green coffee beans? Chlorogenic acid, which is very similar to cinnamon from what they had in the literature. Let me tell you, to regulate your blood sugar, you should use cinnamon. So we have a volunteer, and I wrote down the first volunteer, which was Lauren, or it was D. So D, do you want to use your mic, or incoming mic, or do you want to call me? Let's see how your mic sounds. Let's open your mic. Okay, Dee, I've given you a mic. Do you want to open it and see how you sound? Hello? Dee, are you there? Or you want to call in? Okay, I'm giving you the number. Now, we have you on, you will be on a Polycom phone. And people have asked me about these Polycom phones. So here's the difference. I found this. There's a regular phone and a Polycom phone. So we're going to listen to the regular phone. Okay, Dee, just hang on here a minute.
Okay.
This is a regular phone.
This contact voice sounds over ordinary phone. Because my words are muffled, it can be difficult to understand what I'm saying, resulting in misunderstandings and frustration.
Here's a Polycom phone. These are the ones that we use.
This is soundbite voice sounds over phone with Polycom HD voice, which has over twice the clarity of regular phone. It is easier to understand what I'm saying, which results in better collaboration and increased productivity.
So if you're going to be using this professionally, we recommend that Polycom phone to you. Okay. We're going to quit sharing here and go to my desktop. Just run around in a circle. So we're going to use just a little invoice, a nano voice, and Dee is going to talk to us, and we're going to do a comparison of what we just learned. You just learned that B sharp is dopamine, E is norepinephrine and a gene of leptin, the serotonin is denoted F, and the protein of leptin, cortisol is F sharp, and adiponectin is denoted D, and so is this herb coffee bean thing, orogenic acid. Okay, Dee, how would you describe your body shape to us?
I think it's the A, the body type A.
The adrenal one? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So just go ahead and talk to us about your body shape, or your diet, or whatever is like.
Okay, well, I wanted to talk about the fact that weight has been an issue for me my entire life. I have gained weight, I have lost weight continually. Now that I'm in middle age and I have quit smoking about 5 years ago, I started putting on a lot of weight. And now it just continues to increase, especially around the middle. And I can't seem to lose it no matter what I try to do. I always feel bloated after eating, and I'm just plain miserable.
Thank you.
Is that enough, or you need me to continue?
Well, we needed you to go to 500, and you got it.
Okay.
I'm going to put D up here. And talking about weight around the middle. Now, from what we have learned so far, let's say D before I lose it. All these instructions are in the book. Now, what did you learn so far about D? Her highest weight is an A sharp. An A sharp is immune stress. Now, normal is 42. 128, 152, 100. The first thing we're going to look at is that B, D sharp, E, and F. E is 37, that's probably the only thing she has even kind of normal. It says, Sherry Edwards, left the meeting. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes. Oh, I can on the phone anyway.
Did we lose everybody else?
I'm going to turn it on and see if I can hear it. Oh, I can hear you. You're on.
Okay, that's good, because I left the meeting. Maybe somebody turned on your using my name. So we know that the node E, the norepinephrine, is probably normal. D sharp, dopamine, a little high, not a lot, a little high. F, serotonin free, non-existent. Remember all the things about serotonin?
Supposed to well, that is just, somebody's got their mic open. I gotta close it. I can't find anybody with a mic open.
Okay, now I have a microphone back. That is just too weird. Somehow, somebody was able to take my microphone. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I think they have.
Yes, okay. That was a little weird. They don't want us to have this information. It seems totally innocuous information. Maybe because it's millions and millions of dollars all the time that people spend on this. Okay, how do we use the information we just had? Here's the serotonin. Let's go back and look at the article and look at serotonin, because you need to bring more serotonin in. Crave sweets, chocolate, eats without hunger.
Yeah.
What can help? Raise your tryptophan. That comes in turkey. SAMe helps increase the production of serotonin. Thyroid T3 is required, so that's probably going to come up in the computer program if we do it the other way. Calcium affects serotonin, magnesium affects serotonin. So see how you can use even that little free nano voice to go back and look at all of this?
Oh, yeah, wow. Great.
And put all the pieces together? I don't know why that keeps popping up. That's for the show tomorrow. The other thing that we have here is adiponectin. Very, very high. It's out of control. Adiponectin receptors may be an issue, or just adiponectin itself, and it's combined with leptin. So when that goes, you get a lot of adipose tissue in the cells in your thighs and butt. It's like that cottage cheese stuff that I can't think of the name of it right now. That's really weird.
Cellulite.
Cellulite. I can't remember that word. Your minerals are okay, but your use of minerals are zero. So we'd go back and look at that. But just using this one little chart, I think we have found your issue. Too much cortisol and too little serotonin. So I don't know if there is a thing about getting rid of cortisol. I would think pregnenolone would help us go on the internet and see what would get rid of cortisol.
Okay.
Less stress, maybe. Or if somebody knows on the chat, they could tell us what would get rid of cortisol. Lost the serotonin boost from cigarettes. I didn't know serotonin came from cigarettes.
Really? That's just 5 years ago.
Is that when the stuff started piling on?
Well, yeah.
Well, they say when you quit, then you gain weight.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Oh, Shemaya's giving us, he's sending it privately. Let me see if I can read it out loud. The serotonin is the feed people for the serotonin food combos, and if adiponectin is high, how do we lower the adiponectin? I'm asking if I can get there. Well, it would be the note of F here. So the serotonin and the adiponectin are reciprocals. So once you start taking care of the serotonin, and it's about adrenal burnout. So in your case, Jemima, you could just run them through your adrenal, or support your adrenals better. There are some herbs from Cerezyme that will help get rid of adrenal stress, ADR, and cortisol is associated with that. But it's also associated with hormones. So getting your hormones back in good order. So, Anne said increased protein helps with cortisol. And Joan has put up a phone number for people for cortisol control. Good stuff you guys are posting here. Okay. I've got yours saved. We could look at this from the perspective of a printout, but I'm not going to do that. This is just from the perspective of A-sharp is immune, so your immune system is in stress. Adiponectin possibly is too high, serotonin is too low, and those two in combination really cause cortisol to be out of stress. So Joan has given a phone number here to everyone to call about cortisol control. I don't know what that is, but you guys can check it out.
Okay.
And Les, do you have any questions, Dee?
No, not at this point.
Great. Okay. Well, our next guinea pig was Lauren.
So thank you, Sherry. I'm going to hang up now.
Okay. Thank you, Dee.
Bye.
Yes, Shemaya, that's a good train of thought. Okay. Let's open Lauren's mic. Well, I've got some problems. Change roles, pass. I'm going to have to pass the microphone from over here. Somehow, in my monitoring computer, it has grabbed control here. Lauren, I'm going to unmute your mic. Well, every time I try to unmute it, it mutes itself back. Can you talk to us, Lauren? I'm just going to go ahead and give you the phone number to call in because I'm having trouble with the microphone. So there's the phone number. Just go ahead and call us, and we'll just do it straight by the Polycom phone. Now, don't try to do these on top of each other, because it's already saved once, and if we just said, well, dump it and do another one, it's already saved under these names, and so it won't save itself again under somebody else's name. So just, you can open 10 or 20 of these at a time, so just do it that way. Open a new one. Lauren?
Yes.
Is it Lauren or Lorraine or?
No, it's Lauren.
Lauren, okay. So thank you for volunteering. Do you see the screen that we're working on?
Yes, I do.
Okay, up here's a little 0.
Uh-huh.
And you're just going to talk until that goes beyond 500.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Go.
Okay. I have an A-type body. I hold a lot of weight in my midsection. I'm trying to figure out how and see if this will help me control my diabetes. And I'm very interested in learning more about these programs. I've been in studying a lot of your information for several months. I've got several of your programs downloaded, and they're quite interesting. I've been doing a lot of reading on them and listening to your programs on the radio, and get into every meeting that I can. I'm also become a member of the Guardians, and I find it all very interesting.
Okay, you got it. Would you say that you are a sharing person, or you pretty much keep stuff to yourself?
I keep a lot of stuff.
Yeah, because we don't have a full range here. Let me go ahead and save this so I don't lose it. I'm going to look at your numbers. You have a couple of numbers up here.
Okay.
Your note of C is way out of balance. It's up here in a range that's not usable. So this is where diastase is. Amylase that helps digest carbohydrates, it's not in tune with the rest of your body. Your body may be making it, but your body's not using it. So we need to get you on some good enzymes. Insulin is the note of F. So it's below normal. Glucose is the note of F sharp, and that's twice normal. We have some frequencies for insulin that we're using right now. Are you on, you should, you're on pills? Oh, okay. I misunderstood. So is it metformin or something like that?
Yeah, I take metformin. I take 2 or 3 different pills.
Okay, so we need to get your glucose in order. Also, glucose really plays havoc with your nitric oxide synthase, which allows your cells to respirate. So there's going to be some little catches in your breathing where you're not quite catching up with yourself.
Let me ask you a question. Would this have anything to do with sleep apnea and stuff?
Absolutely.
Sleep apnea.
Absolutely. There's nitric oxide synthase, and when you breathe and you breathe in the oxygen and it's exchanged, what goes back out is carbon dioxide. And carbon dioxide keeps muscles, keeps things in turgor, keeps things stiff. So if there's not enough of the carbon dioxide coming out through your breathing, it collapses your throat.
Yeah, they said I died 7 times a night when they tested me at the hospital for sleep apnea.
Well, I don't know. Where do I start with this? There is nitric oxide synthase. It's called NOS, and you can buy it, and it's just now come on the market, and it comes in little granule form. I saw it at a recent conference on Parkinson's because they don't have all of the nitric oxide synthase that they need. But we're looking at that in your case as a definite issue.
Right.
So even snoring, sleep apnea, all of that has to do with the nitric oxide synthase.
I snore real bad.
Well, if they get this stuff in you, then maybe you wouldn't again. That would be good. That would be wonderful. 151 at G-sharp utilization of minerals. So you may not have the minerals, the zinc, manganese, and magnesium, and sulfur, to even create your insulin. I would recommend that you call our office and see if we could do a preliminary on you to see what your insulin is doing. Okay, we'll just get that set up. But dopamine is missing. So you're going to have some cell signaling issues, which means a little shaking sometimes.
Yeah, I get lightheaded and I do shake sometimes.
Yeah. Norepinephrine, so your energy is going to come and go. It's probably hard to get to sleep and then hard to get up too. Your adiponectin is about double, so you've got some kidney stress, some adrenal stress. But let's go back and get your nitric oxide synthase up and running and go from there. There's a mapping we can do to show you where that's a problem. And if your cells can't respirate, it's like not having enough oxygen for the fire, so you get a lot of trash in your system.
Right. I used some of your other programs with Audacity and stuff, and it says that I have a problem with oxygenation.
Absolutely. With nitric oxide synthase, that's what makes your cells respirate. It makes the cells breathe. It's like, how would you feel if you can't breathe? Well, each of your cells also has to breathe, and that's what's happening.
Right.
They're probably in a state of stress all the time.
Yeah, I can't walk very far anymore. It just wears me out so much.
You don't have any oxygen.
Exactly. And my wife just wrote, you're hitting it on the head.
Well, let's at least get your print in here so we can tell you where you're going.
Okay.
All right?
I'll give you a call Monday and we'll do that.
That's great. Thanks for being a guinea pig.
Thank you.
I heard that. She wants to be a guinea pig next time. Yes, if you want to, somebody's saying they want to learn the methylation map. Absolutely, that's part of what we teach, that methylation map. That might be a good Sunday class, Shamaya. Remind me. Methylation map on Sunday. For those of you who take our professional classes, and we have additional free classes on Sundays where we teach you a particular aspect. And one of the practitioners said that they would like to learn more about that. Why does he only have red color? Well, I wasn't going to mention that. He has some hormonal issues. And that goes right along with sleep apnea and snoring, and he's got a lot of stress in his hormones. But it also tells me he just keeps stuff to himself, and I'm very happy that he volunteered and came out in the open and talked to us. So I will definitely save this. So we can start a file for you if we haven't already. Okay, Liz, are you still on with us? Because I have you down as a volunteer. And Liz, I have to get a microphone for next time. Liz, you just want to call us? Let me go back up and I'll just give you the phone number. Now, people probably already know this phone number anyway that we use for shows. It's 740-698-1881. And if you decide to call this phone, probably won't be answered. There's no answer machine or anything on it. We just use it for taking prints and doing classes. Liz says she has no phone. Okay. Well, I guess you can't call. Kevin. Kevin said he would volunteer. Let me check this. Kevin has a phone. Kevin's mic is open. You want to call in? I can, but there's a little muffler in it.
Can you hear me?
Oh,
that's because I'm calling from Asia, from China.
All right. That's such an honor. It's the middle of the night over there, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's now 7:30 in the morning, so not too bad.
Okay. And do you have a weight issue?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, we're ready to start. You see the little zero here?
Yes,
Keep talking so that goes to 500.
Okay.
So,
Okay, well, I have, when I was younger, I had a normal body weight, like 5 years and younger, and then, beyond, as I grew older than, say, 5 years old, I started to put on weight, and it has been a problem ever since, where I have gained weight, lost weight, done a lot of exercising, and to maintain my weight, and then sooner or later it always seems to come back, though, and right now I'm struggling. Okay.
Kevin, and let's say in Asia, so I remember what's going on here. I'm going to do two things with your voice. You've got the whole middle of yours going, and your mode of operation is you want to think about it carefully, but you want to react. And that's a hard split to have because you're all the time doing for humanity, doing for the future, planning about what's going on. But there is so much missing in your chart, we really can't tell what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you begin to look at it, over this middle is missing.
Wow.
So we're going to do something else with you. I keep this, but we're going to take an audacity reading of you. And this one will only take 30 seconds, so we can find out what's really going on here. So you see the second marks here?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to push this red button and you just start talking. We'll say the same thing if you want.
Okay. Okay, so as I said before, I always have had a weight problem since beyond 5 years of age, and I've gained weight and lost it. It's just been a struggle, and have done a lot of exercising to try to compensate, and been on probably every diet that has been out, and doesn't really work for any lasting time.
Okay, I let it go a little long because we have sort of a lag there in the beginning.
Okay.
I'll chop that out and just save it, export it, and all this instructions in your booklet that you can download.
Mm-hmm.
So Kevin and Asia. Now we can tell this is you.
Okay, so
And I'm going to keep that. I'm just going to minimize it. And then open the abacus.
Alrighty.
And this is the program that will tell us what to look for. We will open with a gray grid, and everything above the grid is something that's too high and not working, and everything below the grid is things that are too low. And I hear you, Richard, saying, methylation. Anytime you got that much above the grid, you got a methylation problem. And Richard always talks about he's the first one to start methylation. So all we have to do is click. It pulls the points of significance. 1, 2, 3. It's got 6 lows. This is 24 notes here, 12 on each side. So we must have 18 highs here. 7 from Asia. And online. I usually don't take people's birthday, but I want
Okay, it's February 8th of 1955.
Okay, that's weird. Some of my favorite people on the planet are born on February 7th, and I'm like, what's with his energy that I want his birthday? Okay, so we have the points pulled. I just don't like this one that it pulled. It just doesn't seem to make sense when we've got this big fat one up here. So I'm just going to change those out. And this one doesn't seem like anything that I would like, and I want this. So these are things that are not working well. So we have a +1, a +2, and we have 4 +3s, which is really a red flag. And this one is a -3, and that pretty much tells me a calcium and stress. So I'm going to look at these and call them highs. They're really promising. I'm going to save this list as 198, 969, just saving those 24 numbers. Now, what's the chance? I don't see my DNS. There it is. What's the chance that these are going to be multiples of each other? 0 to 1,000 cycles per second. And some of them, let's just look at harmonics. When we begin to look at the harmonics of the different notes, you can see if there are things that are stressed or not. And here you have a cluster, and then it goes up and up and up. This tells me that's a stressor in your case. It's up here in this piece of information, frequencies as well, that's up above your gray grid. So these two frequencies are incredibly important. This is where everything starts churning. Okay, I've saved that, and I am going to go put it in my BioDiet program. Then the real information starts coming out. So if I could find my BioDiet program. Uh-oh. Am I in trouble and I don't have a BioDiet program? There it is. We're going to dump in your file, your list of numbers that I have over here on my GNS folder. I usually keep these in order, but that means no. I can just take a K and give it a K. Now we're going to start getting reports of all of these things. Genes, muscles, minerals, medications. You want any medications?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so we don't need that. Vitamins, salts, and we're going to get a med correlate chart. That's going to tell us what the major issue is. It's going to push us toward it. So we're looking for anything that's 4 or better. And it's C sharp, and it's absorption through the bowel. That's where your issues are. Is that easy?
Yes,
So we need to clean up some kind of bowel cleanse. Can you find that at your local herbal store?
Either that or I can order that online.
Are you secretly hard on yourself?
Possibly, yes.
I'm
kind of I'm a workaholic, so I usually when I have projects that I have to do, I stick with them and for long periods of time.
Since you can be defensively sarcastic, are you?
Sometimes. my brother kids with me says I'm passive aggressive, so that's probably similar.
Yeah, that would be it. See, I'm going to make a folder here, Kevin, in Asia, and I'm going to go up here and say I'm going to make a PDF file out of this. And this is other instructions that's waiting for you, how to make this PDF download. And as I print that, I'll just put it right over in a file. And as soon as we're finished here, if you will give me your address, I'll send these over to you.
Okay.
And Dr. Christopher's lower bowel tonic formula is a great classic. Somebody sent that to me privately, but Dr. Christopher, starting with a C, lower bowel tonic formula is a great classic bowel detoxifier.
Okay.
Oh, Moon spotted something. She spotted some eye problems.
Yes, I do have a vision problem, and it's possibly because I spend a lot of time working at a computer. But I haven't had my eyes tested for quite a while. I just did that a week ago, and I'll be getting new glasses. But things are quite blurry without my glasses.
She's a practitioner. She says to go look about 215. Right there it is. That is the eye problem she found. This is some of the things we teach you in the professional class. Very good spy catch there, Moon. So even though you didn't tell her, there it is. Okay, calcium fluoride. This is a cell salt. It's high, probably not usable. We can go back and look at that sheet again. I think it has cell salts on it. And we may be lying. Cell salt, calcium chloride. Necessary to retain elasticity of tissue. Used for ailments of bone teeth, skin, and blood vessels. Could be elasticity of the bowel. Don't know. It doesn't tell us what it needs for it to be useful. You can buy these at the health food store or order them online. Yours is not working well. Your body's not translating your calcium into a cell salt that's usable. Vitamins. Vitamin B2 probably could be low, but biotin, I don't know if biotin is water soluble or not. But B2 low. Riboflavin, that helps with DNA, helps restructure whatever happens to break down. Biotin high can be involved in male pattern baldness. We usually get it from pork. And
I have that.
We need to see about getting your biotin to work. So did I lose that nutrient chart again? I certainly did. I don't even see biotin here. Is biotin a mineral? No. It's not even listed on here, and I haven't noticed in all these years. Oh, there it is, biotin. I lied. B group vitamins, vitamin C, B5, B12, sulfur. Raw egg whites and saccharine hurts absorption. So we'll go looking for these other things. The B group could be the B2 that's causing a problem. Needs vitamin C and vitamin A. See how you cross-references? And you get a little instruction booklet with this that you can send off to your people. And we send it to you in a form that you can change it and put your name and address on. It's called a, telephone folder. And it says, read this first. Well, I don't see that it came up anywhere. Maybe I got too much open. So, the interpretation will tell you that you look for highs and lows, and this is what it means. And also how to cross-reference all of these charts so that once you use this a couple of times, you'll be able to explain all this to your client. So, male pattern baldness and B2, riboflavin probably does more different functions in the body than any of the other B vitamins. It's just like the jack of all trades. Sodium low. That's a little unusual. Sodium is also a frequency near molybdenum that helps calcium work better. And my perception here, just from your voice, is that you have some issues with calcium. Although it's not showing up. There's biotin too, as an enzyme to do other things. Adenomethionine aids in the health of the liver. I don't know what all that means or is, but that's from the adenosylmethionine. Because I don't know what that is. So let's go look. There is something called hyperhealth. You can get a trial of it. It's on our front page. Thanks to Anita. That's already wondered that you were trying to save me. She's trying to tell me where biotin was on the chart. There's so many helpers here, wonderful helpers. So here is, I can get rid of that and look at this. Index and ADEN. Start off the page. Well, I didn't mean to go there. Try to make this guy bigger. But I've never, ADENOOSY. I don't think it's in here after I just bragged on this program. I don't think it's in it. Unless I'm just totally misspelling it. ADENOSYLMETHIONINE. Well, it's not in here. Well, that would be useless to get a free download for that one. Let's go to Wikipedia. They're good for explaining what things are. They're not good for being unbiased about people. You see if they can find it. Oh, so it's supposed to be. What is this amino acid that you have in aids in the health of the liver? Enzyme that catalyzes the conversion of acetylcysteine to. So I usually like Wikipedia because I can understand it, but this one's a bit over my head. Pyruvic residues, where that has to do with muscle aching and tiredness. Do you have muscles that ache?
Not usually. Sometimes, but not usually.
Well, you're going to have to do some research on that one on your own because it's beyond me.
Yeah, some of those Wikipedias are a little challenging. Require further research.
So I expected to see dopamine, I expected to see norepinephrine, and I didn't see any of that in there. I wonder if we would see it in, what else would that be in? So if I'll change my variance, because we are coming from around the world, and there it is. I changed my variance to 6 and we got it. It's an herb, don't use that. We know about that one. So niacin is high. Niacin is for metabolism and energy, and it's the catalyst for your Krebs cycle. Nicotinic adenosine diphosphate. It helps make insulin. It helps use everything else. It helps to unclump your blood. So that's one that I would look at for niacin. Potassium high, sodium low. They're supposed to be more balanced than that. So, but I'm suspecting that this potassium is really in the molybdenum in your case, which is not in this fat, and molybdenum helps calcium work. But there it is. There's your issue. Because it wasn't making any sense, though. We weren't finding anything. And I don't think dopamine is even in this data. Yes, it's in this database. It's still in this. Sorry. Some enzymes. Cortisol again. Tyrosine, it helps support your thyroid. Sometimes when people do this over the phone or over the computer, because it's just a little off, you change your variance. I usually leave mine at 3 or 4, unless I'm on the computer with somebody, and I'll change it to 6. But it just gives you a ton more information. We can also look at predictive. If there's no intervention, this is what's going to happen here. Your adiponectin has to go into stress, carnitine, choline, chromium. Chromium is good for insulin. Levodopa, which will cause your dopamine more stress. Potassium renin with 1 N, that's help your aldosterone. So your male hormones will go into stress. Oh, I forgot to bind all these and send them to you. Okay. I'm going to go back one and just say, send to the printer, and then do printer setup. Make this easy. Send it to PDF. And I don't need this note correlate chart. So now I can just send the reports directly over to your file. Now I have to do each one of them by hand. That's amino acid. And it's showing me what it's sending. I don't need that. You don't need the Adobe Reader, probably. These are the biochemicals. That only showed me 3 things. There's more that should come up. Oh, there it comes. Enzymes. My computer is so too much open. Hormones. Minerals. All these are in your book. These instructions are in the back under how to create PDF files. And you can cut and paste all this if you wanted to, but it would be a pain in the patootie. And you could just change them into PDF files and just send them on. I think that is the last, herbs. You probably don't need. That was the last one.
Okay.
So we've got all of those. And you can take the plant right on the internet too. Why won't my internet open? Because it's opening over here on this other display. I've got something over here that wants to download something for security purposes right in the middle of all this. That's probably what's holding up everything.
Windows can be good for that.
So I'm going to say profile. And I'm going to open my pastel folder, see if I can close from this down to put the element. So this is called bundling. So I'm going to put in here vocal profiling report cover, a nutrient assimilation chart, and how to interpret everything. I usually send this through first because people get lazy and they don't want to read the instructions, so they'll just skip this and just jump on to looking at what's going on. And the next thing is just to take your file, your all videos, and click, hold down shift, click again, and just scoot all of those over there, and they will attach themselves, and you'll be ready to send it over.
Great.
Somebody else is suggesting milk thistle to clean up your liver. And BD, and well, you can see this, I need to put it up here. Benzotamine lowers cholesterol. And somebody wants to know if you're lactose intolerant. Are you milk intolerant?
I'm not sure. I don't think so, but sometimes if I eat a lot of dairy products like cheese, then I get a lot of phlegm collecting in my throat, but not necessarily with milk. If I drink milk, then that doesn't happen. I really don't eat cheese very much. Since I'm in China, that's not readily available, and it's not something that's on the Chinese diet. So I don't think that I am, but I could be.
Okay, so right after this, Kevin will send me his email address.
Okay, I did a private chat to you and gave it to you. You might find it. I can give it to you again.
Other computer.
Do you see it there?
Because there's a lot of chat.
Let's see here. I'll do it again.
Okay, Men's Firm says it is better to clean the bladder and kidney system before doing a liver cleanse. A lot of good advice on here. So you have to put it to the Sherry Edwards, that says it's the host.
Yeah, I just sent one to Sherry Edwards and then host in parentheses.
I'm not sure.
Let's see. Then there's also presenter. Should I use that one?
You could try it because I'm both of those people.
Okay, let's see.
Clear it can.
Oh, okay.
So let me get that off you and then you. Give people the rest of the information. So this program is pretty easy to use. You just take a sample using Audacity, let the computer pull the points, and let the reports run out. Use your Pascal folder to begin to interpret what's going on.
Yes, it looks very straightforward.
I was supposed to do a little review, but it's 8 o'clock. What we looked at, if you guys can stay with me a few more minutes, what we looked for in Kevin's case was predicted area up to 100 and then 512 or so now. That's where most of his trouble was. He's not methylating. That means his body's not preparing his incoming resources to be used by the body. And then the blue is long-term. Some of his long-term looks pretty good. Some of it looks kind of ratty. So if we look at his chart again, long-term, this piece is good. It's all down in the gray. The long-term actually starts right about here. So it's beginning to affect his health in a very chronic way. So we need to go in and look at this open spot. That's a very significant issue that we need to look at. And here it's coming out of the gray. We need to look at. So with each chart that we're doing, you look at what's too high or what's too low and go from there. And there's a little PowerPoint on teaching you which frequencies to look at. The one at the very top of the chart, they're called risers, and we pointed out 2 or 3 that Kevin had. These are risers, and they're in this high top area, and then these are low or stringers. And if you just take those couple of notes, you can solve his chart. So you're going to look at highs and lows, and thin spots too, and there's other architectures that we tell you about in the professional class. That split part is a part of if his body's not cooperating. So we look at the coherence, what forms in that gray 2-block area. We look at the beginning of it. Is it something coming? Is it something now? Is it something long term? And his is now. So we teach people to sort of take a walk through the chart and see where it's hard to get through. You're going along, but there's a big leap right there. So I could solve this chart in 1 note, that one. And Minso could solve his eye problems in 2 notes, right there. So you're looking for what's out of sync in the chart. And it just takes practice. And the computer will pull these points for you. I'm going to skip parts of this about how all this works because it's 8 o'clock. We do have a marketing plan and a marketing PowerPoint that we do with you, and want to up on your feet to help you with that. I think the next series coming up is pre-vac, and a lot of times problems with BioDiet comes from vaccination stress, so those two go together. We like the idea of the body green. The body can heal itself, and that's why we want to support this campaign of give away the software to help you put together a biochemistry business. So we hope you join us tomorrow on Blog Talk Radio, noon Eastern, and we'll talk about Romney and Obama's boyfriend to see what their traits are and who you might want to vote for or not. You can look at more profiles on soundhealthoption.com, and we have videos on YouTube and also on Ustream, just under my name. If you want more information, those you want to call in and get your prints done, on Monday, 740-698-9119. Nanovoice.org for a download of what we just did. And if you need to go back and review, we're going to be keeping this up online for about a week. So if you know anybody that you think would benefit from this, or you think that you would like to introduce them to it, so you guys can work together, by all means pass this information along. Lots of other stuff on Sound Health Options. There's videos, there's classes, there's a radiation class also there under soundhealthoptions.com/radiationclass.html. You can write to me, Sherry on air, or SherryEdwards@gmail. I try to answer my email every day. And if I don't, I'll try to get back to you as quick as possible. Will there be a replay? Yes, we're going to be replaying this for the next week or so for people. I don't know how long they're going to leave the software up. I think for like 10 days. But then they're going to put it on YouTube, but they won't get the software. We want to encourage all of you to join us on Guardians of the People, and remember, if you join within, I think it's the next 10 days while this is up, you have, what is today? You have to join before the 10th, or before the next class comes up. And it's going to be on depression, I do believe. But you'll be getting the nutrition as well as the BioDiet when you join it. Happy Hour is every other Tuesday, although we've done the last 3 Tuesdays consecutively. We jump one. Thank you. We jump up and do people's vocal pants with whatever is going on for the day. And I can remember what we did last week, but we always have fun doing it. And my computer's giving me a little bit of fit here. These are other ways that you can get in touch with us. Our phone number, our address, our journal, Guardians of the People. So you can email the office if you want. We want to train as many practitioners, clinicians as we can. We need instructors. And that's just pure selfishness on my part. If I can get you guys trained, I don't have to do all this work. So that is really my very selfish wish for the world. I just think everybody ought to have this at their fingertips. My husband hurt his back last night. Chiropractor is not open on Saturday. He's gone to the hospital. He's going through the pain pills. We did his vocal print, and in less than 10 minutes, his back's okay again. This should be a resource that everybody has. Should be open to the world. And if I had enough money, I'd give you all microphones and set you up in business, and however I can help you, I would do it. But we are self-supporting, and there's just not enough money to go around. So we certainly appreciate it when you take our classes and help us survive. We've had 3 donations this past week. Somebody gave us a big donation that we divided into 3, and we have 3 more donations. So if you guys, any of you are thinking about taking class, let me know. Ray, why don't you call, why don't you join us on happy hour, and then we'll be your weight there. Okay. Okay. Any final questions? Because thank you for joining us. It's certainly been fun, and the time went really quick. You want me to shorten these up, but I just can't see how I can. There's just so much information, and you learn again and again and again. Just taking this one time, you can get the basics, but there's stuff every time. And Dee, thank you for that. And if you think this is a great class, please post it on our Facebook. A replay announcement will be on the front page of Sound Health Options. And if you love this, tell your friends. We want more and more people involved. And everybody involved. So thank you for being here, and we'll talk later.